Have you ever tried to work on your marriage, but it seems like it all turns out wrong? I mean, you try something new, but it's like it backfires, and it's so frustrating while all the while you just want something different to happen. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. What mistakes are you making that is costing your marriage the happiness that you want to experience? And I know you're probably not making these mistakes intentionally. That's why we have to dive deep and see what it is. Hi, I'm Mary Whitman Ortiz, Christian sex educator and relationship coach. And on this channel, we give you tips on how to overcome intimacy and sex struggles by providing those communication and connection tools that you need. All right, so what is today's question? What mistakes are you making that are costing your happiness in marriage? So here we go. Here's mistake number one. See if this is happening in your life. You don't have a plan for marriage. Well, I have to tell you a little story here, even before I explain this plan. My husband and I just took a trip to Greece. We'd been planning it for years. I'd been drooling over the pictures. You know, I joined Facebook groups. I was doing all kinds of research. I have friends that seem like they're there every other week, and I'm just like doing my research. It was a lot of fun research. But I had a completely different perspective after going there. Yes, the landscape was gorgeous. The water was so blue. These cliff formations were unbelievable. They are Instagram worthy. The food, I mean, maybe the food was even better than the beauty of the land and the people. But there were some bad things along the way. The weather was so hot, and hey, I'm in Florida, so I know what hot is. It was hot, and you had to have water, of course, but you had to buy water, and you didn't know when you were going to get water because you couldn't just buy it any place, and the roads were very dangerous. Oh my goodness, it was like four-wheeling all the time, and the ugly, well, hey, you couldn't flush any toilet paper down the toilet. Maybe you've run into that with some international travel. Why do I tell you about Greece? Well, some people think of marriage the same way. It's wonderful. It's romantic. Everything 24/7 is amazing. But not quite. There are those bad seasons. There are those trials that you have to get through. That's what I want to help you do. And that's where those mistakes come in. Because if you're just living from an overflow, then you don't even know how to address some of those mistakes. How can you come up with a plan? You have to realize that living out of spontaneity is not going to work. You can't just live out of the lovey-dovey feelings and hope you will stay close. You wouldn't wing it in your business or an exercise plan if you really were trying to succeed. You know, you have to have a goal that you share in common. We can't have just his goal or just her goal. You have to share that so that you can work towards it. You have to have baby steps along the way. So winging it, living out of spontaneity won't work. You need a plan, some goals, and baby steps to get there. What is a second mistake you might be making? You don't encourage yourself along the way. Hey, there's this great story in the Bible where Jesus is walking on the water and Peter gets out of the boat and he's going to go towards Jesus. But the moment he takes his eyes off Jesus, he starts to sink. What does that have to do with encouraging yourself? You have to keep your eyes on where you're going. You have to encourage your spouse. Hey, this is where we're going. Remember, we agreed on this. That is a way that you can encourage each other. You need key phrases that speak in a way that really resonates with both of you. Maybe it's things like, I've got your back. We're going to get through this. I love you. I'm here for you. We are strong enough to do this. Whatever those phrases are that you need that speak to you personally, that's what you need to incorporate. And listen, come up with those phrases in a moment of ease when things are going well, and then you can write them down, you can memorize them. It won't be any less valid if you're having to go back to a phrase. It just shows that you were intentional. Listen, is this helping? I hope so. And if it is, would you give me a thumbs up, please? And I have a third mistake that is costing you the happiness in your marriage. Here it goes. You don't find joy along the way. Now, some couples are like, well, I am waiting for it to be perfect and I keep looking and there's always one more thing. Well, there will always be one more thing. So don't wait for perfection to find enjoyment and happiness. And when you are looking for the good, it does keep you motivated to go forward. It keeps you motivated to keep making those right decisions that are going to get you closer to your goal. Listen, looking forward is a place of unity and security. So finding joy is you can do this with gratitude, and you can start with small things. Thank God the car started today. I had gas in the car. Thanks, honey, for helping me with whatever project around the house with the kids. I mean, find joy. Was that a gorgeous sunset or what? Find joy along the way. That will absolutely sustain you. And the cool thing is, when you're going to that place, it reduces anxiety and increases confidence. Simple steps that will absolutely help you. Now, maybe you haven't figured out what is our goal. Are we on the same page? Well, I have a free guide I'd love to give to you. I call it the Strong Start, and it's 10 questions to help you figure out what have I believed about marriage? What are the goals that we want to have, the steps we want to create? So it will really just kind of jumpstart you right where you are. So remember, God's design for marriage is thriving intimacy, spirit, soul, and body.